They're trying so hard to bury the Epstein files.
I wanted to give you a brief little follow-up to the latest batch of Epstein files that dropped. Over 3 million files came out, and it's been quite a few days now of people coming through them and finding tons and tons of alarming things. New allegations, new names, a ton of new information. I highly recommend you check out CoffeeZilla's 2 latest videos covering this new
He's been cooking. This is like Christmas for CoffeeZilla. He gets to cover scammers and pedophiles.
Epstein file drop. I think he does a great job at cutting through the bullshit and delivering the clearest coverage and highlighting some of the most important takeaways from all of this new information. This is a huge deal.
Isn't it so crazy? Isn't it so crazy? I was looking at Asmongold the other day, and he said something, I mean, he keeps saying it, about Epstein. He's like, you know, everybody talks about the Epstein files, but nobody cares about the hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants that are pedophiles that we're getting rid of. And it's like, bro, what are you saying?
Epstein on tape advising former Israeli PM Barak to approach Palantir founder Peter Thiel.
There was 2 cyber companies. Look out, and even though I know Peter, I've never met Peter Thiel. And everybody says he sort of jumps around and acts sort of strange.
Okay, so it's not this. It's a Twitter clip then. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Quick scroll. What's this? Let's see if we can find it. It was like an Asmongold clip from like the last 2 days. Oh, here we go. What is this? Okay, who cares about that? This Asmon? No. Yeah, no, it's not happening. All right, if I can find the clip, I'll show it. Otherwise, I literally just cooked that segment for no fucking reason. Celebrity is dead as we know it. The walls are closing in on Asmon. I mean, we'll see, man. It seems like that guy is a cockroach that can survive a fucking nuclear bomb. It's ridiculous. But like, dude, it's so clear that like anyone who is like pro-Trump or MAGA or whatever the fuck, like at this point they'd rather pretend the Epstein files don't exist. They seem to not care at all. They're like, oh, but the illegal immigrants, they're the ones doing the raping actually. And it's like, dog, like there's like reports that Donald Trump was like measuring genitalia with his fingers. And this is on kids. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not really cool with Mr. President doing that.
Deal. And don't let any of the NPCs on Twitter convince you otherwise or try and minimize the importance of this. And crazy enough, I know it's not just these...
But have you considered they're brown? Shit, you raise a good point.
faceless homunculi on Twitter that have this administration's cock buried deep into their...
That's so important to mention. It's after years of them begging for them to get released. And by the way, let me be clear. Like, obviously, Biden not releasing them is not good either, right? And it kind of speaks to perhaps the Democratic Party also having people that are in those files that, you know, they don't want to have released. But it seems bipartisan that like both parties have people in there. It just so happens that one of the best friends of Epstein was Donald Trump.
To their throat that's trying to convince you to just let this all go. The administration itself is doing that as well, which is the main thing I want to talk about here. Since this release, the official narrative from the administration is they've finally complied with the law and released these files, and now we can all just move on. Which is crazy because there are still no arrests and seemingly no investigations either, despite all of this overwhelming evidence that now the public has access to and can see some really fucking terrible things in. Raping children, trafficking children.
You should fucking said it. I mean, like, I would have hit it with the censor. You know, I'm trying to get monetized here. I'm trying to get my ad revenue up. In fairness, I don't think Penguinz0 cares.
Possible cannibalism, torture.
It is fucking insane. Like yeah, today's video on the Sleepy channel, we were talking about Destiny's take on Epstein. Sleepy. Oh my fucking god, can't even spell. And people were like so upset with my take. They're like, "Yo, Like that was his take a year ago. And I was like to me, it's like, bro, there's documentaries about this guy that go far, that were released during the Biden era. Okay. They were released during Trump 1.0. So like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it's been a fact. It's been known that Epstein was trafficking kids. Destiny made it seem like it was like, oh, it's like 1 or 2 kids. It's like, bro, wake up. Wait, but here's the thing. That's like your favorite liberal doing it, okay? This is hilarious. It's completely different when like it's your entire fucking MAGA fan base that at one point was like, I need the files.
Murder, all of this now just openly in the public.
Yeah, maybe 1 kid slipped in. Jeez. Now you can't use that excuse, lol. If you don't have the details, don't speak on it. True. Although I'm always speaking about shit that I don't have the details on, but yeah, no, I agree.
Of course, with tons of redactions to protect the perpetrators, naturally, which of course violates the law that they're right now gloating about following, by the way. All of this is now out there in the public, and yet still no investigations, and the administration is proudly just saying, time to move on. Before showing you some clips here, I want to...
Time to move on before any of our fucking names come out alongside a pedophile. Like, it's bad to be in the files. Like, listen, Jon Stewart apparently was mentioned in the files, but he was brought up in the files as an example during a conversation. Like Epstein and someone are having a conversation about a TV show, and they're like, we should cast Jon Stewart, which is like kind of funny. But to have like Lutnick, to have like any of these names, Trump, any of these names that are like, yeah, we're besties. Me and Epstein, we party together. What do you mean we party together? What do you mean you were partying with like a known human trafficker, a known pedophile, like like freak of the freak? That was your boy. You were partying together. That's what you want to call it. You and your homie were partying together. Like, come on, man.
Do a little experiment here with you to try and activate a few neurons, God forbid.
Yeah, I know. Destiny can't even capitalize on the Epstein stuff because he was downplaying it, lol. It's so crazy. Like, okay, I'm not saying you should think like this 24/7, but if you're just thinking content, if you're just thinking content-wise, public opinion-wise, what should I do? 100% not be pro-pedophile. 100% don't downplay the worst pedophile of all time. Like, that's not the move. I don't think people are gonna like that. I get it. It's provocative. I don't think it works though. Like, what are you doing? So fucking funny. In fairness though, and it's something that I brought up in the video, he has a weird history with women. That's undeniable. If you like, even if you're a fan of him, you think he's got a normal history with women? You think that's how normal people interact with women? No, it's not. And he's also, at the time that this video comes out and his opinion comes out, he's going through a sex case, right, with the leaked photos. What about the Muslims though? Yeah, literally Israeli shill ass fucking answer from Destiny.
Forbid. Let me dust off,
or at least thought process. I don't know if he's actually ever like vocalized that.
Off your brain here for a moment. Let's say that you have drank the Kool-Aid to such an extreme degree that you believe all of these Epstein files are a bunch of hooey when it comes to the Republicans that are named in there, like Howard Lutnick or Donald Trump. Let's say that you think that all of those are make-believe, there's nothing in there that holds any water, it's a fucking, wild goose chase, it's all fake. But you believe that all of the information in regards to Democrats in there, like Bill Clinton, is legitimate, and Bill Gates.
By the way, this is like a very cute, awesome hypothetical that he gives. It's a great way to get any, and this is what I was talking about earlier. Oh my God, it's full circle. What I was literally talking about earlier, right, was, so iDubbbz had this podcast. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he has this podcast, and one of the questions is regarding Charlie, okay? So important, and it's something that, like, you'll see in tomorrow's video. Listen to
part
this.
of the pipeline, though. It's the same reason.
I never perceived 2016 iDubbbz to be ideologically like right-wing or ideologically hateful in the way that those other two are. Like,
it's part of the pipeline, though. It's the same reason people wouldn't say Charlie, Moist Critical, is right-wing or like as ideologically fucked out there as like a Nick Fuentes or even Asmongold, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
He holds
works-
some space for the people in his audience who might have some differing opinions. He doesn't make it
Okay, so he holds space for people in his audience that might have differing opinions. In other words, what he's about to say it, he doesn't excise those people. He doesn't say, hey guys, I completely disagree with you and I want you out of my community if you don't agree with me, which I think is silly. I think you should have a little bit of clash of opinions, whether it's political or otherwise, because those people that you disagree with but that are in your audience, they might have a different relationship with you than you're thinking. It might be parasocial, whatever, and maybe over time you can convince those people to think more like you. I think that that's like a genuine thing that you can think as a content creator. But here's what iDub said, and here's what has happened in his career. He excised those people, completely lost a large amount of his audience, and people have tormented him about it for years, man. On top of obviously having a wife that does OnlyFans and everything that comes with that, and you know, her having a promiscuous past with other YouTubers, like, it's of course I understand. But at the end of the day, he decided to completely alienate a large amount of his audience. For what reason? Just because it's morally right? My counter to that, and it's what Charlie literally just did a second ago, is keep those people in your audience, let them know how you feel, but don't say that you're not welcome here, and introduce them to ideas that maybe they're not getting from some other, Asmongold type. Because the algorithm is feeding those people Asmongold. So if you can kind of slowly change their opinion, why not? Rather than excising them.
make it clear, like, I don't want you in my fucking community.
Yeah.
Like, outright.
Like that's what iDubbbz would say. I don't want you in my fucking community. Who's that good for? You're just you're making less money. You have a smaller viewer base, and you're sending these people where? To Asmongold, to whatever, your Pegasus, okay? Whatever brain fucking goyslop, right wing, bullshit content, because you're saying get the fuck out of my audience for what?
But he holds
works-
some space for the people in his audience who might have some differing opinions. He doesn't make it clear, like, I don't want you in my fucking community.
Yeah.
Like, outright.
Yeah.
And, I get it. I get the hustle. I did it for a while.
And in fairness, he's calling it a hustle. You can call it a hustle, but you can also acknowledge that what Charlie does here, when he goes and he draws this comparison.
It's a fucking, wild goose chase. It's all fake. But you believe that all the information in regards to Democrats in there, like Bill Clinton, is legitimate. And Bill Gates. All of that's real, but all this...
He's directly, whether you like it or not, he's directly speaking to those conservatives that iDubbbz described. Those conservatives that would go and watch the Asmon video where Asmon is saying, but what about the illegal immigrants? They rape more. Okay? That's what's awesome about Charlie, is that because he's not outwardly antagonistic to the members of his audience that he disagrees with, he's able to say these types of things to that audience.
All this stuff on the Republicans is fake. Let's play ball with that. Let's
play ball, and then he's going to describe this scenario. It's awesome.
say you're right. Why are the Republicans that are in charge right now in this administration not pursuing an investigation on the Democrats in these Epstein files? Let's go into a little bit of chess theory here. Everything about Donald Trump and the Epstein files is totally innocent. He's been absolved of all wrongdoing, like he says he is, and like a lot of other people are trying to regurgitate, despite the numerous times his name appears. Let's say he's not compromised by Israel like the FBI was investigating. Let's say all of this is wrong, but all the Democrats that are named in there are actually guilty.
Wouldn't you want to find out everything you can about the Democrats? Wouldn't you, if you could put all that to the side, just look into the Democrats? Okay, well, why aren't they doing it? What might happen if they do it? What might they discover? Because remember, even if you look into the Democrats, I have a tweet about this. The United States is ran by two parties full of pedophiles that vacation together. Yo, there's photos of Bill Clinton and Donald Trump together. That's just how it goes. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And I'm not talking about during the election. I'm talking in the 90s, in the early 2000s, in that era. Bro, all these people intermingle. It's a very small circle. And I think that's largely why. Why would we look into the Dems? All you're going to find is that it was both of us. It's not good.
Those are the actual evil perpetrators and the real culprits. Why the fuck aren't we arresting the Democrats, or at the very least investigating all of this information in the Epstein files? Ask yourself that question.
The broad coalition they're always talking about needing to build. Yeah, literally. Their coalition is to fucking assault children.
Let's use someone easy, Bill Clinton. I think most sane people on the planet, after combing through the Epstein files and seeing all of these allegations and the pictures and everything with Bill Clinton, can agree there's enough here to at least start poking around and see what's going on with Bill Clinton's relationship to Epstein and everything that happened on the Epstein Island, right?
You would think so. You would think so, unless there's an incentive not to. And it's so funny because like it's such a conspiracy theory situation. There's like global elite pedophiles that are like abducting and eating children on an island that only the rich and famous and powerful can get to. Like, dude, it's literally as Illuminati as it gets. It's what people have been talking about all for like, bro. You hear all the time growing up as a kid. You know, it's like rumors, it's jokes, it's like a story you tell around a campfire. But it's real. It's crazy. It's insane. And the government doesn't want to look into it. Are you kidding me? And the guy who's behind it mysteriously commits suicide in his like maximum security jail. And the cameras just happen to be out at that time. Like, is everything normal? Like, is this totally fine with everyone? We're all cool with this? This explanation suffices for everyone?
Well, why the fuck is Trump defending him so adamantly right now? He just put out a...
Didn't Charlie say to Sneeko he didn't mind child transition? Listen, I hear what you're saying. And I don't think everybody's going to bat 1,000 in life, okay? You're not always going to get it right. I also think that was at a time where that was a very popular thing to say. And I'm going to be real with you. I've always said this. Charlie appeals to the normies, okay? That's just what he is. And so that also tells you if he's normie enough or left-leaning enough to at one point have said, I'm totally fine with kids transitioning, how does that make you feel about iDubbbz saying that he's like a right-wing pipeline kind of guy? It is kind of funny. I understand iDubbbz is not meaning that in its entirety. He's obviously saying that he holds space. But nevertheless, funny that you would say that about somebody who at one point had a very, I mean, it was normalized for a bit, but a very radical position insisting, I don't want to say insisting, saying that you feel minors, young children should be able to transition with the consent of their parents. That's crazy.
Put out a statement like, man, I hate that.
Like, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer because I know trans people that got on that shit, like in terms of at least hormones being stopped at a young age and going from male to female, and like it kind of works because like you look at them and you're like, that's a woman. Like I would not, like, I'm glad you told me because I wouldn't have known, you know, and I don't want a Chud Logic situation here. So you know.
People are shooting spitballs at Bill Clinton. I like that guy. I love that guy, actually. For a second there, I thought he was going to request a group hug in the shower with Bill Clinton at the very end of that fucking segment. Like, all of a sudden, he's Bill Clinton's best friend suckling on his titties. Like, what? Where's this coming from? Like, only...
Isn't this awesome? Isn't it awesome to have based Penguinz0? Like, I feel like, I don't want to make a comparison here, but I feel like this is as close, like, just this performance here is as close as, like, a 2017, 2018 PewDiePie videos I've had in a while. Bro, you guys, man, you guys are young, right? I don't know how, like, what the average age, I don't know what the average age of chat is, but dude, like from like 2016 to like 2019, maybe a couple years after too, PewDiePie was so fucking good. Like not everything was perfect, but like he was down to get edgy. He was down to talk about, you know, political stuff. It was a different time. It was a different time. What can I say? And like he was literally doing daily topic commentary. It was amazing, amazing stuff.
Only a couple days ago.
Anyways, the comparison is that I think that Penguinz0 is doing a great job here in that same style of content, if that makes sense. Now PewDiePie was lame as fuck, LeMayo. Hey man, to each their own. I thought he was fantastic, and I watched him growing up from like 12 when he was making like Amnesia and like The Walking Dead type videos to like when he became like a real topic commentary guy. It was awesome. And even his edgy phase, like he was awesome.
He was like, yeah, Bill Clinton's name's all over that.
And yeah, shout out, he has a family now.
That backfired, didn't it? And I was like, oh man, Bill Clinton's he's like the best of us. That guy's awesome. This is craziness, actual craziness. Now I know that there's like some probes into some things in regards to the Epstein files and people like Bill Clinton like related to it. But nothing's going to come from it. Nothing has come from this shit.
I really like when he made those poor villagers dance around that billboard. That is funny. That is funny now that you bring it up.
Ever. Across multiple administrations, nothing has come from it, so I have no expectation that there's going to be any justice, especially when the fucking President Trump is still talking about, like, let's move on and it's not important.
It's crazy to see those tweets of people, like, saying, oh my god, like, I can't believe this guy got off scot-free or whatever the fuck, or trying to cancel him. Like, cancel what? He's literally, he's not even trying on YouTube anymore. He just uploads, like, family vlogs. It's very cute.
Or Perjury Patel, like, hey, we comply with the law. Epstein files are out there. We're done here. Time to wash our hands of it. Or Todd Blanche going and saying, it's not a crime to party with Epstein. It's very hard to have any level of faith that there's going to be any repercussions to all of these evil monsters. Now, I know I've been sitting here shitting and spitting, got a little off track. To bring it back to the initial thought experiment I wanted to plant into your noodle. If you believe the all Republicans in these Epstein...
Hold on. I've got a really soy photo I need to show you guys. Okay, hold on. Will this work if I bring it? Hold on. This is my dumbass wearing... Oh, you still can't see it. Hold on. I gotta sneeze. Fuck, how... I made it too bright. So that's me. And the PewDiePie thing. And I'm wearing this hoodie. Look at that. That's so funny. Fucking goofy shit, bro. Is it another pic of you in makeup? Yeah, listen. I don't know what you're talking about, Chief. You should make your shit up. There we go. Nice and sharp, I think. All right, let's continue.
files are innocent, but all Democrats...
Did you see Sneeko eating pork? He really enjoyed it. I mean, he hasn't been Muslim his whole life. Like, he definitely had pork before.
...are not. Ask yourself, why are the Republicans that are in charge right now not actually investigating or holding any of these Democrats accountable and punishing them, pursuing charges, or anything of the sort? Why?
Good question, Charles. Good question.
Why does it seem like the actual narrative is the Epstein files are out there, we're done here? Even though, by the way, the official stance only a few months ago is that the Epstein files aren't real, it's a Democrat hoax, they don't exist, that kind of thing. After, of course, Pam Bondi said they were on her desk. After, of course, they had actually given the Epstein files phase 1 to some fucking right-wing influencers who have been hush-hush crickets ever since. Anyway, if the Democrats in the Epstein files are...
His beef with Andrew Tate? Tell me about that.
...guilty, why are they not being investigated? Let me offer you a little game theory here. It's because the Republicans in the Epstein files aren't actually innocent. No one in the Epstein files is innocent when it comes to a lot of the evidence we now have at our fingertips. There's a lot of real actionable stuff in there, at least.
Yo, how mad would you be, though, if, like, you flash forward 30 years into the future, you know, you have a great life, all that shit, and, like, some guy that you met, like, 30 years ago, your name, like, he turns out to be, like, a global pedophile, but because, like, you guys were, like, coworkers at one point, you guys, like, became friends, and then, like, you guys kind of lost connection, but you end up in, like, his fucking, we'll call them the Jackson files, because this guy's name is, like, Lamar Jackson, okay? And he's, like, he's, like, a global pedophile. And you're in his files because you guys work together at Lowe's. And he kept a diary, and he thought you were, like, one of the coolest, you know, hardest working guys ever. And he just wished that you guys hadn't stopped working together at Lowe's so that he could have introduced you to, like, children. And, like, you of course, you're a normal person. You would have never engaged with that. You would have reported him to the cops. But you didn't have the opportunity because you guys never spoke again for 30 years. But now you're in the Epstein, you're in the Jackson files because you guys worked together at Lowe's. Holy fuck, that would suck.
I think so. Now, of course, a lot of it is unsubstantiated. I get that. Not everyone in there is probably guilty of shit, like I know Russell Wilson was in there about like a plane, like trying to buy a plane. I get that. But there is a lot of substantial evidence on a lot of very powerful people, like a Howard Lutnick. And so if this administration did actually pursue charges against the Democrats that are named in the Epstein files, then that puts them at risk of being implicated as well if that person starts squealing, if they start letting the fat lady sing. That's why I believe they are not pursuing.
I was wondering why I said Lamar Jackson. And yeah, I guess that would be a football player, huh? I should have said Devontavious Green.
Any kind of real investigation or anything at all for anyone associated with the Epstein files. That's why apparently all of these extremely powerful.
Nah, but for real, black names are exaggerated black names, which probably is worse than I was gonna say initially. But like anything that ends in the suffix tavius and then is just followed up by like a one syllable word is awesome. You know what I mean? Trayshawn Tavius. What's like a good last name? Because I keep saying Green. What's like a good? Oh, Deshaun Tavius Lee. You know what I mean? Like, something Tavius, Green Tavius Jones. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome? Is that not awesome? I think that's amazing. Yeah, Brown. Well, okay, that's a little on the nose there, bro. I'm trying to come up with like real names. Like, is Deshaun Tavius Green is definitely like a real name. Deshaun Tavius Green. For sure, that's an NFL player. No, his name is Deshaun Green, and he's a wide receiver at high school. Why am I getting a random high school student? Okay, hold on. We're gonna head back to the video. Anyways, I'm just trying to say that those are really cool names to say. Like, I know the odds of getting a hockey player whose name is Deshaun Tavius is like incredibly unlikely. But if Ottawa could like select someone with the name Deshaun Tavius Green, you know how fast I'd buy that jersey? Holy shit. That would be amazing. I would fucking just hope he becomes sick as fuck. It's just such an awesome name. Deshaun Tavius. Anything that ends in Tavius. And anyways, I gotta move on now.
Powerful people that are named.
It's an awesome name.
In there are completely fucking untouchable. They're basically ghosts at this point. If your name is in the Epstein files, you've basically activated God mode in America, where you can't.
What web browser am I using? I'm using Arc. I should probably use something else, but I like it because the tabs are hidden away like that. I can just show you this like web browser, like what I'm actually. Oh, Zen browser's good too. Zen browser is like basically Arc browser, but still getting support.
Cannot be touched or punished, it seems. And I think that's also why the previous administration wasn't touching anything in the Epstein files, because again, if they went after the Republicans that were named in the Epstein files, that opens them up to also being implicated there as well. Because clearly, this was more than just one party. Both Republicans and Democrats are named a lot in these Epstein files. So it'd be a fucking disaster for both parties, which is why it's been such like a fucking hot potato that hasn't been touched. That's what I believe. Now anyway, I think any sane person would agree that this is a huge fucking problem that no...
I'm going to speed him up just a little bit, but as a reasonable person, I do believe that this is a huge fucking problem, as he is going to explain.
No one is getting arrested for this. But unfortunately, the powerful politicians that govern us are not sane. So they are to our face spitting on us, telling us to just move on and that it's not important. Here's those words from Donald Trump.
And you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really. Now
Yeah, figure out something else to worry about. What's up? This Jeffrey Epstein guy. Why are we still talking about him? Like, are you guys bored? Like, are we not winning enough for you? So awesome. You've got the fucking president and he's like, this like global pedophile. Why do you guys care? Holy fuck, man. You can't write comedy like this. Like 20 years ago, if you wrote this was the president and he was besties with like a massive pedophile, and he was saying this type of stuff, like, bro, you would be like, okay, chill out, South Park, or chill out, fucking Robot Chicken. Like, that's not happening.
Tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country.
My stance on Tom's response vid, I think he did a good job, honestly. Like, I'm sure there's probably other people that are more critical than me. I had a couple things I didn't like. I was kind of confused by his comparison of like penetrative damage causing blood versus like period blood. Like, I don't think those are exactly the same, but like I also understand that he's trying to say that like he was normalized to blood, so it wasn't like it's like a crazy thing. I don't know. I hear what he was trying to say. I just think that that's like when you're getting into those kind of hard to argue points, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. I'd have to rewatch that blood point to see exactly what my disagreement was, but I think it was the distinction that he was trying to make between like I'd already experienced period blood, so like the other blood didn't affect me. I don't know. I'd have to look into that again.
Venture to get onto something else. You know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people. But I think
Epstein is so last year.
it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something
like healthcare. This fucking guy said like healthcare. There's no way. You're not fucking real. What do you mean like healthcare? Isn't this the guy that wanted to get rid of the ACA credits? Isn't this the guy that like is cutting tax? Wait, what the fuck happened? And then taking, fuck, I cut out. That pissed me off. And then taking those tax cuts, right? Well, you got to pay for them somehow. And then just cutting medical benefits. And the only reason that didn't get totally fucking cooked is because of the government shutdown. So they had to vote to extend. I accidentally censored myself, I guess. But yeah, like, what do you mean healthcare?
something that people care about. Yeah.
Oh, move on to something that people care about. So you don't care about child sex trafficking, the raping of children, the potential cannibalism, the torture?
Of course not. Donald Trump was eating people. He was eating children. Let me just touch on the Tom thing. It was more like, why would she ask me if I was okay with period blood if she bled every time we were intimate? Oh, that's actually a good point. You know what? That is a good point, because period blood's a lot more blood than... Yeah, okay, I like that.
Sure, the murder, all of that, that's not something you think American people should care about? That's not the important stuff? Well, what the fuck is the Trump phone, which is probably coming out any day now, supposed to come out in like August of 2025, by the way. Still no expected delivery time on my Trump phone device. Crazy.
Well, did you buy it with Trump coin? Otherwise, it's not a legitimate purchase. It's not a legitimate purchase.
They're saying maybe March now. Fingers crossed, any day, no doubt. How can anyone sit there and not be revolted by that statement? Again, if these Epstein files absolved Trump, which I don't see how anyone could mental gymnastic that explanation into reality and truly believe it. But again, even if he is completely squeaky clean here in the Epstein case, everyone else isn't.
Stuttered. I butchered that entire word. I don't even remember what word I was saying, but I completely butchered it. Stuttered is putting it lightly. That was so bad.
There's plenty of people that aren't. Why does he want so badly to just move on from this? Why does he want to bury it? He should be like really gung-ho about getting all of them arrested. And in fact, actually, one of his big promises when he was campaigning is that's exactly what he's going to do. But promises made, promises broken. That's the new motto. That is exactly what's been going on. He campaigned about how important the Epstein files were to release
Taco, Trump always chickens out.
and like actually get justice for the victims and punish these heinous, evil people. And then the second he gets into office, he's done everything in his power to not only deny the existence of the Epstein files, calling them a Democrat hoax, but also doing everything he can to prevent them from coming out. And it has just been a complete circus with these. And now that they're here, and people have all of this evidence with so many names and so many bad people on there with a lot of things that I do think would warrant an investigation, he is saying it's not important and that we need to move on. That is actual craziness.
Do you have regrets about how it's been handled?
Look, like any other hot topic issue, the American public...
I think he calls him, what the fuck does he call him? He calls him, Perjury Patel.
Great interest in this. And what we did under President Trump's leadership is produce the most transparent DOJ and FBI in history. 3 other administrations had the opportunity to do this, and we produced everything we legally and lawfully could. We worked with our partners in Congress, we followed the statutes and the court orders, and we produced, what, 3 million some pages? So I think we got to the result.
Have you guys ever seen his wife? Have we talked about Perjury Patel's wife. Okay, I don't want to do the fucking Trump thing with the nicknames. Have we looked into Kash Patel's wife? Let's and where she's from exactly? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Is it can it get any more obvious? Are you fucking kidding me? You mean to you think I believe? You mean to tell me that this motherfucker landed this? Are you serious right? Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? That did not happen. Okay. Like, get the fuck out of here. It is so goofy. They're not even trying to hide how, like, out of his league she is. Well, okay, so let's look into Kash Patel girlfriend. Let's, like, look into her, who she actually is real quick. Alexis Wilkins. American country singer. Fun fact about her lawsuits. Wilkins filed a $5 million defamation suit against Samuel Parker, a former banker and social media influencer who had run the 2018 Utah Senate Republican primary. Wilkins alleged that he claimed that she that he had falsely claimed that she was an Israeli spy. It's so funny. Country singer dating FBI director sues a Utah man. Okay. So, I don't want to get sued. I'm just trying to say, if that like happened, hypothetically, if she was exposed as an Israeli spy, my reaction would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But like only hypothetically, like I don't believe anything, dude. I'm not a guy who holds beliefs regarding her status as like a Israeli Mossad agent. I have none. I would never hold beliefs ever, not even once. I don't know what that means, believe.
In the right way. Could we have gotten there faster? I'm not really sure because of numerous court cases, multiple protective orders, multiple court sealings, and so now we've produced everything we can while protecting victims' rights.
This guy. Oh my god.
This fucking dweeb, this insufferable dork. So here's Perjury Patel taking a victory lap here about how they did everything right when it came to the Epstein files, which, by the way, under oath, Kash Patel said that there's no evidence that there were like any, clients, no list. He said plenty of things that have been completely disproven with these Epstein files being released, but he's not facing any perjury charges, and to my understanding, no one's even pursuing it. Super weird how Perjury Patel just gets away with it. But here, he's talking about how they did everything right in the right way, which is not true. They did everything they could to not release these files every step of the way. They're already like 2 months late, basically, close to it. And also, the redactions were supposed to be reserved exclusively for the names of victims. They have not been used for just victims' names. That has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Man, I love this Charlie guy. This Charlie guy is awesome. Nevea TV8. Huh.
Is a violation of the law that had been signed into place when it came to the handling of the Epstein files. And pretty much everything he says there is just a lie.
When did he start talking at a non-lobotomized tempo? Well, he is on 1.25x.
That is what Perjury Patel does, just lie. But the sentiment he's trying
Dude, I can't watch him at 1x.
To express is now that they have the 3 million some files out there, they've done what they were required to do, and now we need to move on. There is nothing in regards to like an investigation or punishment to the people that are named in these files with tons of evidence and tons of really...
Doesn't he sound better? Bro, I can't even watch my own videos on 1x. I watch them on 1.5x. Like, I want to watch it, make sure I didn't say anything insane, and I post. That's it.
Very, very disturbing things, pictures, videos, emails, all of this stuff, and all the people in them don't seem to be looking at any possible punishment or anything at all. It doesn't seem like there's any level of justice coming to the victims here of the Jeffrey Epstein operation and all of the clients.
Is there any chance that any of these individuals who partied with Epstein and engaged in relations with minors will be prosecuted? Any chance?
I'll never say no, and we will always investigate any evidence of misconduct. But as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein, and so as
bro, I know he wrote that down, and I know he practiced it in the mirror, and he's like, I'm gonna say this, it's gonna be so hard. Motherfucker should be like, yeah, you know what? He's just a party guy. He's just a party guy. Yo, if you're partying with a pedophile, if you're partying with the pedophile goat, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there's no way that's a good party. There's no way that you're like I get. He probably had a lot of drinks. He probably had a lot of cool stuff. It's an island, but like, that's where the pedophiles go. Like, it doesn't matter how cool you think the party is. You can't party with the pedophile, bro. That's like day one. That's what they tell you. That's the first thing they tell you. That's what they say in the instructional. Don't party with pedophiles. And you're out here fraternizing, making friends, partying. Like, what are you? Anyways, this guy's like, it's not illegal.
Always investigate any evidence of misconduct, but as you know, it is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein, and so as horrible as it's not a crime to email with Mr. Epstein, and some of these men may have done horrible things, and if we have evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But it's also the kind of thing that the American people need to understand, that it isn't a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. It isn't a crime to have
Didn't look like that's all that was going on.
Bro,
some
he
of those
keeps
photos.
doubling
I mean,
down
if the
on
photos
that.
could speak. Some of them look pretty bad.
That's right, and unfortunately, photos can't speak, and so we need witnesses and we need
Are there
evidence.
videotapes that you all have? Or?
To answer that question, yeah, there's videotapes that they all have. In fact, Pam Bondi said that there's like thousands of videos with children in them. Pam Bondi seems like totally fine just letting this whole Epstein thing just kind of fall to the back rooms, by the way. Anyway, though, here's Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche just outright saying with his whole chest, it's not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein.
It's not a crime to party with It's not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein. Sounds like a badass sentence. I don't ever want you to say that again. It's not badass. Partying with Mr. Epstein implies you're a pedophile.
And he's being very open and honest here about how little he's actually caring about it. He's making it seem like, oh, maybe there's a chance for an investigation, but he's being very blunt that it's probably not.
It's only okay to accidentally party with Epstein if you worked with him at Lowe's. That's I like butchered that joke.
Not coming. There's probably not going to be an investigation. He's even saying, yeah, unfortunately, pictures can't speak. So all those horrible pictures and all of that.
Yeah, it was funny the way he said it so seriously. Funny, like, in a very sad, depraved way.
Evidence in there, probably not going to lead to an investigation.
Like, it's like 9/11 joke the next day type of,
Everyone's going to get away with it. Oh, shucks. But it's not a crime to party with Jeffrey Epstein. You know, the man behind the biggest child sex trafficking operation in this country's history. What a strong message to be sending, Todd. It's all just so blatantly in your face. They treat you like you are a mindless sheep. And plenty of people are proving them correct here with the shit that they're swallowing here with a smile on their face. Wake the fuck up, samurai. The president has just said that we need to move on from the Epstein files into something that people care about. Let that marinate for a second.
I would sell that t-shirt only to make money. No, otherwise that's a dishonorable t-shirt and I would not wear it.
Really think about that. Why is he trying to make it seem like the raping of children, the sex trafficking of children, the cannibalism, the torture, the murder is not something you should care about? And this is all perpetrated by potentially the most powerful people in this country. Why is the president and his administration trying so hard to bury this and get people to move on without even trying to investigate or hold?
Mr. President, why are you a pedophile? Mr. President, hold on. This is how I'm at. This is like me. Hold on. This is not me, actually. I'm making a joke. BO1 president scenes. Yeah. Now pretend JFK is Trump.
No weakness.
That's why we're here.
This is me.
To see if we can trust you.
I'm me right now. I'm walking.
Right here, 24/7. It never ends.
I walk by fine shit. Fine shit catches my eye.
We were watching you
Me and fine shit lock eyes.
the whole time.
She blows smoke at me because she wants to blow me later.
It's not possible.
I was in the Pentagon.
Please tell him we're here.
At once, sir.
Motherfuckers are calling people on the phone knowing that I'm the guy. Like, I'm the guy that they got to talk to the president. Okay, I gotta talk to the president real quick. They're calling people for me.
Clearance Prospero.
They got code words for me. All right. I don't even look back at fine shit because I know she's waiting for me.
Distinguished heroes.
I start having my schizophrenic acid trip flashbacks. My ears are ringing.
Numbers. Distinguished leaders.
Couldn't get them out of my head.
Area.
Why are you a pedophile? Mr. President, why are you a pedophile?
VIPs.
I'm trying to relax. I can't blow my shit up right now. I gotta make sure. Oh fuck, Mr. President, why are you a pedophile?
What, Mason?
The nerve
These
center.
flashes, I keep getting hit.
I believe I'm
I keep
correct in
asking.
saying that civilization has been saved more than once in this room.
I don't know. It felt like I was in a dream. Step 2. Ascend from darkness. Step 3. Rain fire.
Mr. President, why are you a pedophile?
You were getting close to your objective. It was working.
It never gets old. Overwhelming, isn't it?
You're right. It is overwhelming. It is. It is. Really is. Mr. President, why are you a pedophile?
Sycorax. This inner sanctum was built in 1943.
Oh, that's awesome.
We rarely
1943. That's unreal. I can't wait to meet Mr. President. Mr. President, why are you a pedophile?
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
I'm glad we've sat through this scene so I can finish this joke.
Good luck, Mason.
Mr. President? Oh, look at us.
Agent Mason.
Great honor, Mr. President.
No, why are you a pedophile? What are you? What? Is that Mr. President? I think he's a pedophile. Now again, this is Donald Trump, not JFK.
We are in grave danger from the communists. Our freedom, our very way of life is at risk. Drago.
This is Mr. President Trump telling me that this is why we need to deploy ICE. They've got a nuclear weapon. They've got a nuclear weapon in Minnesota. The Somalians, they got a nuclear weapon in Minnesota. We need to send our untrained ICE agents to kill the Somalians.
Dragovich.
And I'm like, not my Somalians, man. Mr. President, you're a pedophile. You thought I was gonna kill the Somalians in Minnesota? I would never join ICE. You're a pedophile, Mr. President. I thought more of you. Oh, fuck. Shit's so funny. Let's finish the Moist Critical video.
Hold anyone accountable that's named in these files. It's just crazy. Anyway, I just had to yap about this a bit after seeing the response here from government officials about it's not important, just move on. I actually couldn't believe my fucking ears. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
Awesome. That was a great video by Moist Critical. Ladies and gents, if you're watching the VOD, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next VOD.